Hey, everybody, and welcome to Type2 Take2, your diabetes and health-centered podcast. We are the podcast that sticks our noses where they don't belong. Why? In order to get to the answer of why. Sometimes I give you silly reasons as to why, but honestly, why? Why is our health so messed up? Why do we have to keep on asking the doctor why? Why do we have to keep on asking our brother or sister why? Why do I keep wearing this beanie? We stick our noses where they don't belong in order to come to the answer of why, the root cause, and then come up with the solution, because that's what it's all about. Stay tuned as we come to the answer of why. Why what? Why do elimination diets work? And why don't they? Stay tuned. First, for some chit chat. Yes, some chit chat. I have to tell you that I'm really excited to talk to you about this person. His name is Phillip Graham. I met him on Facebook. Well, I didn't necessarily meet him, but I was introduced to his work. And actually, we have a Facebook group in common. And I had asked a general question. It wasn't really a general question. I was asking the group questions about. When did they first see the signs of their diabetes? Because as you know, this is type 2 take 2. And if you didn't know, it's type 2 diabetes take 2, do-over, right? We don't want to get diabetes again, but let's have a do-over, right? That's what the title means. If you didn't know, now you know. Type 2 take 2. So, in that group, of the diabetes group that I'm in, I asked the group, I said, what are the first signs that you were diabetic? What made you realize that you were diabetic? And so I was getting a lot of answers, and I was really glad about that because, if you remember, I did a call out for people so that I can interview them so that they can tell me about how they became diabetic, when did they realize they were diabetic, or maybe family members or whatnot. But I really didn't get much answer. I got one. And you can always check that one out. That was Kick Fear in the Face with Kim Alleman. And she is an Optiva health coach. Pardon. So you can totally check that one out. I want to say she was the very first interview. So keep that in mind. That was really cool. And as a matter of fact, she's one of the most played. So check that out. But in any case, I was asking around, and one person in particular chimed up, Phillip Graham. Yes, Phillip Graham. And he actually is a pharmacist who is in the UK, who has taken his pharmacy not only online, but he also helps as a coach for prolongevity. I say for. He created prolongevity, and it is a coaching it's a coaching business where he helps people get off of their medication. And I thought that was so exciting because he jumped on there and he just he linked a podcast to me, and it was said pre-diabetes. It was about pre-diabetes, and I listened to it and I was just like, oh my gosh, this is fantastic. Because honestly, I'm looking at my phone now, as you probably already know, which I always do. Let me see if I can jump on there really quick. Even if I don't just see myself, I posted it to my Facebook. Now, I posted it to my private Facebook, but nonetheless, what pre-diabetic really means. And it is like so great. And I really hope that you guys give that a listen. I will link it down below because it's fantastic. What I've been trying to tell you all over and over and over and over, he makes so concise. He is being interviewed, so he is getting targeted questions. But the answers are so concise that there's no way you can be without a doubt as to what it's about. And furthermore, he advocates for a low-carb diet. I know, a pharmacist advocating for a low-carb ketogenic diet. How can that be? How can it be? But it is. So that's the chit chat. You guys really have to check him out. I'm gonna, like I said, post the link to that one on the description down below. So that's not only including YouTube, but it's also including the podcast notes. So if you don't know how to get to the podcast notes, you just scroll down on the podcast, depending on which player you're on, and then you click on see more, and then you can see show notes and whatnot. I don't have many, but I have a lot. If that makes sense. But in any case, that's that, okay? I just wanted to go ahead and tell you about this awesome person who's making a difference in on this side of the world, uh, my side of the world, even though I am an American. As you probably remember, I live in the Netherlands. So there's that. Okay, updates. The update is I have started my new program in the same institute as a level 2 integrative health practitioner. What does that mean? That means that I will be able to help you, one, read your labs. If you do at home lab testing, I will be able to help you read those labs after I finish my certification here. I will be able to suggest labs to you. I will be able to, as an IHP level 1, I can suggest labs to you. But I mean, I can do it with more confidence as an IHP too. But not only that, but I can also read any lab, not just the labs that I work with, but any lab that you bring across my table, I'll be able to read because they've made it so awesome. So you have to check out. This is not a plug, but it might as well be. If you're interested in becoming an integrative health practitioner, if you're interested in changing your health and then changing your family's health and then changing the health around people around you, then I would totally suggest jumping on the Integrative Health Practitioner website and seeing how you can become that coach. Do you not want to work with people and be paid for it? It's completely fine. You can learn it for yourself and then teach those around you and not get paid. I have the link down below, so you are more than welcome to check that out. And I think it's fantastic because I've learned so much, and I'm pretty sure that you all have noticed how more in depth the podcasts have become since I've joined the integrative health practitioner program. I'm pretty sure because I started in March of 2021, and here it is December, and you've come full spectrum. It's not just talking about diabetes now. It's not just talking about keto now, which I love keto for diabetics. Don't get me wrong, especially if you're not going to work on your gut health. If you're not going to work on your health, if you're not going to do what you need to do and you just need a starting point, absolutely. Keto is the way to go for you, my diabetic friends, my diabetes. Okay. But if you're not and you're going to work on those things, that's when integrative health practitioner comes into play because they don't just work on your diet. You don't just learn how to work on your diet. You learn how to work on all aspects to actually reverse and get off autoimmune, um, autoimmune diseases. You not only that, but you also can kick fear in the face with with chronic diseases. Blood pressure, anything. You just learn that there is a root cause for everything, and then you get to the root cause, and that's what I'm saying here. So, if you're interested in becoming an integrative health practitioner, like I said, definitely click on that link below, and it will say it. Interested in becoming an integrative health practitioner? Here's how you learn more. So, there's that. Setbacks. Now we're talking setbacks, friends. Whew, I do have one this time around. And the fact is, I have been dealing with a setback of improper sleep. Now, it's not that I'm purposely going to bed late, it's that when I go to sleep, I'm waking up. There are things there. Like you probably already know, I'm a little bit higher in inflammation that I would prefer not to be. And I'm working on that. You see, your health never stops. You're never stagnant. Once you arrive, you're not just there. You keep going because if you don't keep going, then you go backwards, or you let something else slip in. Just like how in our interview with Sue Karpinski, she said she got it. She finally was there, and then one reason or another, she slipped back down that slope, and so now she has to rebuild. Isn't that exciting to know that even as a professional health coach, that even they have to deal and work with their health all the time, and it's not just a I'm here and that's it. I really hope that's encouraging to you, really, because that tells you that just because you've made a choice to uh, take this out of your diet or take that out of your diet or add this to your diet or add this into your diet, this or that, if you add or whatever the case is, that it's not so simple as, okay, I've arrived, I'm done. Because we are not stagnant people, we are living people. Things that don't grow die, right? So if you're not constantly changing, you're going to revert back to what you were doing before, or fall off the cliff. But you don't necessarily have to fall off the cliff. But say, for example, you are you start one thing, such as proper sleep, drinking the smoothies, you are eating your vegetables, your 7 to 9 cups of produce, 1 to 4 of those cups being fruits, the other portion being vegetables, cruciferous, all the good things. And then slowly but surely you find yourself for whatever the case is. It's great to know that you can always come back. And like coming back full circle to this setback, which is what I was saying, I've been missing out. I have been totally missing out on sleep. And you're probably thinking, well, why? You're a health coach. Well, I just say that? Yes, I am a health coach. Yes. But to be honest, I work a full time, right? I'm not blaming. I'm just I'm just putting it in perspective. I work a full time. I'm like 9 to 5 on most occasions, and then I work on my business. Before I go to work, I work on my business. That's the Instagram posts. That's all the things. That's studying. So I'm up at 5 in the morning. At the latest, I'm up at 5. Sometimes I'll wake up 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. I said, okay, well, I can't get back to sleep, so I'm going to start studying. I'm going to start working. I'm going to read my Bible. I'm going to listen to the Daily Bread. I'm going to start going. Okay, so those are some of the things. And then from 5 in the morning till I get home off of my 9 to 5, and then I work with clients after the 9 to 5 from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. And then, because when I get off of work, I either cook or I wait to be served. And then I get back to work. So I'm not blaming any of those things. I'm just giving you my situation so you can probably kind of see where I'm coming from. But see, those weren't issues for me. At least I didn't feel like they were issues for me. What I find is that perhaps my inflammation level, my omega 3 versus 6 ratio is so off that I am I am messing up my sleep, and that's not okay. Okay, that's not okay, because this can lead to autoimmune dis-ease. So there's the setback. Motivation and encouragement, folks. Now, okay, so I kind of like painted a drab picture or whatever, and I didn't give you anything to go off on. But I have to say that sometimes we have to keep on searching. Sometimes we just have to keep on searching for our answers, right? We can't give up. It's so easy to give up when we are going through hard times. We're dealing with things, or we're adding things to our plate that don't need to be there. Extras, 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 or don't read all about it because there's too much. So the encouragement is this: when you are so all's the setback, such as the setback, for example, when you are going, I have something in my eye and it's bothering me. I'm sorry. So, but as you are going through, your setbacks, for example, or as you are going through um, your reconnecting, it's best that you find your motivation. What is your motivation? What is my motivation? It's like that was a Pepsi commercial or something way back in the day. Um, it's best that you keep searching. You keep looking for your answer. Don't give up. The answer is there. Don't give up. I decided that I need to take more time for myself and sleep well. I mean, these are the things that I tell my clients, right? The de-stress protocol: diet, exercise, stress release, um, toxin removal, uh, rest, all of the things. Emotional balance, supplements, success mindset. But if I'm not doing it, then or if I know about it, see, that's the thing. You can know about something and not do it. Okay, I'm gonna get on track here because that eye situation really bothered me, so it distracted me a little. Sorry, but just to say, you are more than conquerors, and so even in Christ Jesus, so even you can get through this. You can find your answers, but you have to keep on searching. Don't give up. Don't all of a sudden say, oh, okay, well, I messed up, so that's it. I mean, I'm a failure. I did not succeed in what I was trying to do. No, keep going. Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming. What do? You swim. Just keep swimming. Just keep going. Keep searching for the answer. If, like I said, going back to what I said, it could, if I'm not sleeping properly, then that messes up my toxin purification in my body. And if you're not sleeping properly, it messes up your detoxification in your body. So we need to be in bed at the latest, 9:30, 9 o'clock, 9:30. Why? Because detoxification starts from around 10 o'clock to 3 in the morning. So if it's your body's detoxifying during that time and you're up, then it can't do that because it has to reroute all the processes to keeping you not awake, because you're making yourself be awake, but it has to keep you moving. So it's rerouting all of those things. So you're not getting the proper detoxification that you need. And if you're still with the toxins within you, then your body becomes inflamed. Inflammation, inflammation, inflammation. So your body becomes and is still inflamed. So it just gets rerouted into the system, and then you're just more inflamed because you got double-sided toxicity. Not okay. So that's what I'm saying. Wow, this motivation encouragement is going on for 4 minutes already. So what I'm trying to say is this: keep searching. Don't give up. Don't beat yourself up. Okay, yeah, if you feel like you need to beat yourself up to go forward, don't beat yourself up too much. Honestly, I'm that person. I'm the one that would say, "Oh, I can't believe you didn't do this." Da, 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 da. But you know what? It doesn't help me in the long run. Maybe it helps you. It doesn't help me in the long run, though, to continue to beat myself up over something when I could honestly just fix it. Maybe that's not you, though. Maybe you need to beat yourself up. It doesn't work for long, though. There's a difference between uh, ambition and ambitious scolding on yourself and beating yourself up. There's a difference. I hope you know the difference. But in any case, keep on searching. Do not give up. Keep on searching. Do not give up. I last night got great sleep. I went to bed around 7 o'clock, and I'm up at 5. It's actually 8 o'clock right now, 8 in the morning. So I'm just barely getting started because moving my computer from one place to another is an ordeal. So there's that motivation and encouragement. I hope you'll be encouraged to just keep on searching. Don't give up. That's the encouragement. Keep on searching. Do not give up. Okay? All right. Okay, health. We want to talk today about the awesomeness that elimination diets are. Elimination diets are very awesome. They help you to get yourself on track. They help you, especially if you're not working on root causes, to get yourself on track. Okay, here's the thing. We all need help, right? This is going to be really short because I think it's pretty simple. We all need help in our journey of health. We all need help in our journey of health. And sometimes we need a step one, low ladder, step 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, what have you. And elimination diets are fantastic in getting you at least started going. And sometimes you can just live on an elimination diet your whole life and be just fine and not get to the root cause of a problem. And sometimes uh, it feels great. You've invested yourself in this elimination diet. You learned recipes. You started a YouTube channel, the Lucky Stove Show, for example. You did all the things so that way you can be the best elimination diet person that you are in the type of elimination field that you're in. There are different types of elimination diets. It's not just low carb. There are some for FODMAP. There are some, I don't even really know what FODMAP is, to be honest, but I hear about it. There's the DASH diet. That is an elimination protocol as well. There's the one for cholesterol, there's one for kidneys, there's one for this, there's one for that. There are some where they are medical and they're necessary, and there are others where they're not necessarily medically necessary, but they help you. I was type 2 diabetic, which is why I started this whole show. The whole point of this show was to help people realize that they're not alone, that they can get through their diabetes and reverse it, and that they don't have to live on metformin, they don't have to live on insulin as type 2 diabetics, right? Non insulin dependent. There's a difference. If you're type 2 dependent, or rather insulin dependent, but you're a type 2 diabetic, you can reverse that. Ask your doctor. You can reverse it. I say ask your doctor, but some doctors would just be happy to leave you on the insulin. Happy to leave you on the insulin. Because it's easier, right? Oh, just shoot up some insulin. You're all right. You're good. There's a Band-Aid. But your body can make insulin, type 2er. But the insulin is harder. This is just a diabetic standpoint, right? It's harder for the insulin to work with the cells because the cells have been inflamed with all kinds of things. I talked about it last week. Hydrolyzed or oxidized seed oils, stress. Maybe I did talk about it. Maybe I put it on my Instagram. It's possible because I talk about it every day. I talk about it every day, every day. So, like, can we talk about something else? How's your life going every day? Okay, I'll just say that this is my life. My life is trying to help you to reach your health because I enjoy helping people. That's all I ever wanted to do. When I was young, I thought I'd be a nurse because I wasn't smart enough to be a doctor. But now I'm finding that it's not necessarily smarts that make you who you are. It's your drive, your determination, and your passion. See, that should have been part of the motivation and encouragement. But moving right along. So, my elimination diet, I focused on to get myself off of the medication. Now, don't get me wrong, I was 120 kilos. 120. Let's just check it out. Let's see here. For those of you, usually a kilo is a half, so 200. Let me see. Let me just type it into handy old dandy Siri. I do this quite often, so usually it picks it up 120 kilos. Now it's trying to convert into pounds. 264. And that's nothing, actually, because I was a lot more than that, I feel. 264 pounds. I feel that's on the lighter side of things. Because I was close to 300 pounds, not so before I started the ketogenic diet. Let me see here. I was 280, so 127 kilos, somewhere around there. In any case, it was not a beautiful thing. Yeah, it was not a beautiful thing. But I didn't care about the weight. I didn't care about the weight. Weight? Who cares? I didn't. But I didn't want to be dependent upon drugs. I didn't want to be dependent upon me asking for medication, because what if the medication disappears? I know, I know. Conspiracy, perhaps? No, no, it's just reality, guys. You can't. I sometimes wonder how deep I go down my rabbit hole of not conspiracy, but just future. You kind of have to plan for the future. I mean, you don't want to live in fear for the future, but you have to plan for the future. And I've been planning for the future for a very long time. And one of the things I didn't plan for was good health. But what I did accomplish was learning that I did not want to be dependent upon anything where it was outside of my own body. Jesus lives within me, in my heart. Uh, with anything that was outside of my own body, um, to live, to survive. Of course, yeah, food. Yeah, I'm not talking about food. I'm talking about having to live on medications. I didn't want that. I never wanted it. To be quite honest, I've been around plenty of people who were addicted to drugs, and I saw how that was. And yeah, it may have been illegal drugs, but it was drugs nonetheless. So I didn't want that for myself. I didn't. No, no, stay away. So becoming a diabetic was something completely not what I had in my mind. I didn't know what happened. I didn't, I was just, I mean, okay, look, I went to the doctors. The doctor told me, yeah, you're overweight. You should lose weight, exercise, eat right. I mean, what can a doctor tell you in 5 minutes of sitting with you after the MD, or the medical assistant did all the heavy lifting? All they're doing is looking at your chart. Are they asking you about yourself? How's your sleep? How do you deal with stress? Are you emotionally balanced? Are they asking you those things? Are they asking you, um, how's your mindset? Are they asking those things? Maybe a functional medicine doctor will. Most likely a naturopathic doctor will. Your integrative health practitioner definitely will. But what about the MD? He doesn't have time for that. Just like I posted on Instagram, your doctor doesn't have time to prevent. He's too busy trying to treat. So, what about me? What about I had to take it into my own hands. I did not want to be on medication anymore. And like, I'm kind of getting a little choked up because, like, I think about it. And I was so just messed up, guys. I was messed up. I was on metformin. I was on, and high doses of metformin. I was on glipizide. I was on glycosida. I was on some kind of medication to protect my kidneys. It was a heart blood pressure medication to protect my kidneys. But I didn't have I didn't have high blood pressure. I didn't. They even told me so. So I remember when I was in medical assisting school, for example, my fingers would go numb sometimes when I was trying to help or learn and things like that. I remember when I was in business school, San Joaquin Valley College, and my headaches were so extreme. When I tested my blood sugar, it was like 500. 500. I couldn't focus. My vision was blurry. The headaches were extreme. I was constantly getting up to urinate. And that was uncontrolled. That was even though I had the medication, I was like, forget this medication. Power to my people, my body. I don't want this. I don't want the medication because I didn't want to be stuck on medication all of my life. Who am I? I'm over here 29 years old. I was 29 when I was diagnosed as a diabetic. And then as a type 2 diabetic. And then they gave me all the things. They gave me the insulin, they gave me the metformin, they gave me this, they gave me this big old rap sheet of what things I should and should not eat. And then I went to my primary doctor because I found that out at the clinic that I was allowed to go to, higher end, more care, honestly. And then I went to my primary doctor, not so higher end, not so much care. And they said, you don't need to do half of this stuff. No, it's okay. Just, whatever's white, don't need it. Take your medication, you'll be fine. Okay, cool. This is, I didn't mean for this to go into my story, but I guess I had to get there to get to the elimination diet part. I After a while of being scared, just almost half to death, and taking my medication, I lost so much weight because I stopped eating the white things. I stopped eating the carby things. I stopped eating. When we went to McDonald's or Burger King, I just asked for bread or McDonald's or Burger King. Okay, I would ask for the patty on top of lettuce. I would say no to the French fries. I would ask for salad. Whatever it is, whatever it was. That was a start. That was a start. You got to start somewhere, right? Yes, you have to start somewhere. And then after a while, I mean, like I said, I lost a lot of weight. Everyone's like, "Oh, what are you doing?" I'm like, "Oh, well, just get diabetes," and be afraid. And then maybe you will lose the weight and da da da. But that didn't change the fact that only had me on medication. That did not change the fact, or the it did not change the fact that I had diabetes. It only lowered the blood glucose. But why was my blood glucose so high? It only lowered the glucose. But why was my glucose so high in the first place? Nobody knew. They didn't know. Oh, it's because you're overweight. There's a lot of overweight people without diabetes. For reals. There are a lot of overweight people without diabetes. So what made me so different? That's a different story. That's another podcast. Or it's the previous podcast. You can check that out on episode 29, the diabetes origin story. But back to elimination diet. See, I'm coming around circle, but I had to give you the foundation before you could see why I started my elimination diet, ketogenic elimination diet, why I still advocate for the elimination diet, the keto elimination diet. Why do I advocate for it for my diabetic people? Why? Here's why. Okay, so pros of elimination diet. It takes all the crap out of your kitchen. All the things that were affecting you. If you have a good coach, they will help you, not just willy-nilly. Don't just jump online and say, okay, well, I do. This is not it. This is not it. Unless you have an online coach. I had Thomas DeLauer. He didn't know it, but he was my coach. Thomas DeLauer was my coach. And so I wrote everything down. I studied it, and I was writing everything down. And then that was it. That's what I did. I followed what he said to a T. Ketogenic diet for beginners. And I followed it to a T. And I lost. And I was dropping it. Before I knew it, dropping weight, right? Dropping weight. But I didn't care about the weight. I just wanted to get off the medication. So, before I knew it, within the week or week and a half, I found that I couldn't even take the medication that I was prescribed here in the Netherlands because it was too strong for me. So I said, forget that mess. Bye, medication. Bye. I mean, you did a little dance like, oh, no medication. Because that's what I wanted, right? And then, of course, I followed through because I said, okay, I saw my diabetic nurse. She said, okay, you look fantastic. I don't know what you're doing, but keep doing it. Great. I told her what it was. Good. Don't get fanatical. Oh my gosh. Don't get fanatical. But keep going and do this, And then I got my blood work done. My blood work looked fantastic. I mean, all she saw at the first was the weight, right? She saw the weight. So after I had my HbA1c, then she saw the whole work, my A1C. And she's like, oh my gosh, this is fantastic. She was excited because I went from a 13 HbA1c to an 8, I want to say, during the process of time. We had 3-month intervals of 3-month intervals of appointments, of course. So why did the elimination diet work? Because I got rid of everything I needed to get rid of. I got rid of it. I said, no, And I did things that I didn't even know why. I didn't know why I did it, but it said don't do it. So I didn't do it. Don't eat this. So I didn't eat it. I mean, I became part of I joined the Keto Police Academy. And I mean, people said, oh, was that keto? They already knew. They were asking me, I'm like, is that keto? Because we have a YouTube skit, Coffee with Aunt Susie. You should check it out. It's here on this. If you go to the YouTube channel, The Lucky Stove Show, then you will be able to see it. Just type in Coffee with Aunt Susie. Susie is spelled crazy. So just go directly to our channel, The Lucky Stove Show. And it shows. I mean, I was making fun, but I was so serious at the same time because that's the things I was going through. Yeah, later on, I relaxed a little. I calmed down because it was necessary to calm down because I was getting ridiculous. But all the same, the elimination diet worked. Okay, it worked because I took everything out. What are the cons? You don't fix the root problem. Okay, so what was my problem? And I'm using myself as an example because it's just the easiest thing to do. You could apply this to any one of your chronic diseases. You don't get to the root problem. My root problem was not the fact that I was eating I was eating high carb. My root problem was that my insulin, my cells were inflamed. My cells were inflamed by all of these oils and whatnot. But really, was that it? Was that all? Was that all there was to it? No, my hormones were unimbalanced. They were imbalanced. Unimbalanced, that's not a word. They were imbalanced. Is that it? Was that all? Didn't that the ketogenic diet helps you to balance your hormones because you are no longer, if you're doing it right, you are no longer putting all those crap oils in your body. Okay, it's not dirty keto, which if you're on dirty keto, you're not doing it for your health. You're doing it to lose weight, and there's a complete difference. Okay, that's all there is to it. That's it. I'm not even no, no. Dirty keto does not work for your hormones. Okay, first of all, let me take that back. It may help some of you for your hormones. It may help some of you for health, but not the way you want it. Not your full impact, not optimal. You're just getting off of where you were before. And if you were on the standard American diet, the standard Canadian American diet, if you were on any of the Western type diets, then you were already eating a buttload of crap. So of course, if you get rid of all that stuff, then this helps, right? Okay, but if you're on keto and you're eating clean keto, then it helps with all of those things. It helps you to balance your hormones. It helps those who have PCOS. It helps those, especially those who have Alzheimer's, because the glucose, you don't create so much glucose because you're not eating as many carbs. You're not eating as many carbohydrates. You're eating more fat. Ketone levels rise, okay? And that is what's necessary. It helps you feel good. The ketones help you to feel better, but you have to have the right ratio. I was on cons. It sounded like it was all good for now, right? But it is. But here's the con is that you don't get to the root cause of the problem. Why do I have PCOS? Was it just the sugar? Was it just the carbs that did it? No, there's so much more involved. So the stepping stone. Then I'm almost done because I'm hitting almost 20 minutes with the health. The stepping stone is this. As an elimination diets go. They are there to prevent you from making you go worse and clean up what you were doing and then to keep you from going back, right? But they don't work on the root cause. I advocate for the ketogenic diet to my type 2 diabetics, my clients, if they are not willing to work on root cause. I'm an integrative health practitioner. That's what I do. I work on root cause. I wanted to know about root cause well before I became a ketogenic, before I became an integrative health practitioner. As a ketogenic living certified coach, I wanted to know the root cause. So it's not like, okay, well, now I'm an IHP, now I'm going to go for it. No, I want to know why. And you can even attest to that. If you look back on some of my older podcasts, you can see I was always asking, why? Why is it like this? Why do we have to keep on going through this? Is there another way? Do we get sprinkled with the diabetes dust? Here you go. No. I want to know why, and I want you guys to know why. I don't want you to continue to sit there and say, okay, well, I have PCOS, so I'm just going to eat a PCOS type diet to help me, and that's it. No, let's work on the why. Work on the why you have PCOS. Yes, eat an elimination diet until you start getting to work and working on the why. And then you can slowly get yourself off of that. And I know people say, oh, normal eating. Okay. And they have I have an ugly face when I say normal, quotation marks and everything. I know people say, okay, well, why would I want to eat a quote unquote normal diet when I could just eat all these great foods and such? But guess what? A lot of the foods that we are still consuming are not necessarily beneficial to us, even on a ketogenic scale. Some of the things are still inflammatory. Some of the things still cause cancer. Some of the things still, I'm not talking about grass-fed meat products, byproducts, whatever. I'm talking about the other things. But if you get to the root cause of why your dis-ease is the way it is, then you can work on correcting it with protocols. You can check to see what your imbalances are, because the root cause is always an imbalance somewhere. There's always an imbalance somewhere. PCOS, let's look at your estrogen, let's look at your progesterone, let's look at your testosterone, let's look at those things. What is it? Is it just this? And what's causing that? Is there something lacking, or is there too much of something? So, elimination diet pros and cons. Elimination diets are perfect for keeping you from falling further down the slide. Elimination diets are not so great in helping you find the root cause. I really hope this helped you all, because I got a little deep, and honestly I started getting in my feelings for a minute because I see it. Oh, that's my alarm saying, sorry guys. I have an alarm at 8:30 to help me with my mindset. And as a matter of fact, that's a perfect thing to end on. It's to help me with my mindset, because I too need to make sure that I am doing the things that I'm advocating for you. Diet, exercise, stress release, toxin removal, rest, emotional balance, supplementation where necessary, because nutritional supplements, they're important. We don't think so, but they're important. People would say no, but they're important. And success mindset. And for success mindset, I have something I remind myself, not only for emotional balance, but also to, and not also for stress release. See, it covers so many things, but it also helps me to have a success mindset. I've read this before, but I'll read it again. Philippians 4:6-7. Be anxious for nothing, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known to God. And the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your hearts and minds through Christ Jesus every day. Thank you so much for joining me here at Type 2 Take2. I really hope that this has encouraged you, helped you to see some things that perhaps you didn't see. It's very important to be able to know the reason why you get on an elimination diet and the reasons why to get off an elimination diet. You don't have to be on an elimination diet forever. It is just a stepping point. And there is nothing wrong with having a stepping point as long as you are looking for your root causes. I'll see you all later. That's all, folks. Bye.